Weight loss is one of those goals that everyone wants. And in your search to find the best ways to lose weight, you'll come across a lot of information on the best way to boost your metabolism so that you can lose weight faster and more efficiently. Here's the problem though. Most of this advice doesn't work and it's just a waste of time, which is why today I'm going to tell you the top 3 science-backed ways to increase your metabolism and get your body working with you for better weight loss results. Starting with number 1, strength training. Strength training is by far the most underrated element to boost your metabolism and lose weight. But to understand why strength training is so important to your metabolism, we first need to understand what your metabolism really is. Your metabolism is the overarching word to describe how your body uses energy. This accounts for all the movement you do throughout the day, like your workouts or walking around the office or even playing with your dog. But even when you're not moving, your body is still expending energy. Things like breathing, pumping blood, and even digesting food are just some of the ways your body is burning energy. And that's all without any of the active movement or exercise you do throughout the day. This energy usage is what's known as your basal metabolic rate. For the average adult, this is around 1,600 calories for men or 1,400 calories for women per day. But obviously it's going to be different for each person, and it's going to depend on your age, your muscle mass, your height, and your genetics, some of which are out of your control. However, there is another factor that increases your metabolism, and that's how much muscle you're carrying. The more muscle you have, the more calories you'll burn, even at rest, because that muscle is very metabolically active and it'll use calories throughout the day just to maintain itself. So it should come as no surprise that the best way to boost your metabolism is to increase your muscle mass through strength training. Resistance training needs to be a priority if you want to increase your lean muscle mass and burn more calories. Lifting weights is going to give you the best results when it comes to building muscle, although using other equipment like resistance bands or even body weight exercises can be beneficial. But you should definitely work up to weights because they're going to ensure you're challenging your body and maximizing your training. Heavy weights will also make it easier to achieve what is known as progressive overload, which is gradually increasing the amount of work you're doing through reps, through sets, and through load through time. The natural progression of weight allows you to keep the intensity of your workouts up as you get stronger, and without progressive overload, you won't really get the results that you're looking for. So make sure to make that push to increase the reps or the weight you're using every couple of weeks. Using heavy weights for compound exercises like the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift are also going to give you the most bang for your buck when working out. Building your workouts around these movements that work multiple muscle groups at the same time allow you to train efficiently while also gaining strength faster. A good strength training program will program compound exercises as the foundation of the program and filling in the gaps with isolation movements that target specific muscles. One example of a workout that's focused on training your legs could include squats, Romanian deadlifts, and lunges as compound exercises that are going to target your glutes, your quadriceps, your hamstrings, and your core. Then it might include isolation exercises like calf raises and hamstring curls to target specific muscles. And this structure can be applied to all major muscle groups, and most programs will have you train your legs, your back, your shoulders, your chest, your triceps, and your biceps. However you decide to split up your workouts is up to you or the program you're following, but in general, it's not a bad idea to train these muscle groups more than once per week. Now, on the subject of strength training, all of your hard work is going to go completely out the window if you're not focusing on your recovery. So make sure you're getting adequate rest and enough sleep, around 7 to 9 hours per night, because during rest and sleep, you give your body the chance to recover and build up that muscle. Consistently challenging your muscles through progressive overload and allowing enough time for recovery is going to help you build muscle mass and increase your metabolism over time so that you're burning more calories throughout the day, which is going to allow you to burn fat faster and also keep that fat off. But strength training alone isn't enough to build muscle mass. You also need to take a closer look at what you're eating. So let's move on to number 2, which is protein. People on social media love to talk about metabolism boosting foods like apple cider vinegar, hot peppers, and even broccoli. But none of these metabolism boosting foods actually boost your metabolism because it does nothing to change how your body actually uses energy. Sure, some foods like celery might take more energy to actually break down, but those calories are negligible and don't make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. However, if we look back to the number 1 metabolism booster, which is muscle mass, there's one macronutrient that is required to build more muscle, and that's going to be protein. Protein does so much for our bodies, like strengthening our immune system, creating hormones. But the most important role, especially when it comes to boosting your metabolism, is helping the muscle tissue in your body grow and repair, meaning an increase in muscle mass and burning more calories at rest. The cells in your body are constantly being broken down, and this is especially true for muscle cells that are under the stress of strength training, and that's where protein comes in. When there's enough additional amino acids being supplied by the diet, your body will be able to rebuild build the muscle tissue to even more muscle than there was before. And that's when growth happens. Protein is made up of 20 amino acids, 9 of which are included in a group called the essential amino acids, which are amino acids that cannot be produced in your body, which means they need to be consumed through the foods you eat. So eating a variety of protein sources is a good way to ensure that you're getting enough total protein, but also that you're getting enough of each individual amino acid. One way to get more variety in your diet is to be more intentional about including both animal and plant-based protein sources. It's easy to think about animal-based foods like meat, eggs, and dairy to provide protein, which, make no mistake, are great protein sources that should be included in your diet, but also incorporating foods like soy-based products as well as lentils to increase the quantity of the protein that you're eating. And speaking of quantity, most individuals should be aiming for at least 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram of protein per day as a general guideline, but for many it's going to be more than this. But if your protein intake is lower than that right now, any increase is going to be beneficial for an increase in muscle mass. If you're finding it difficult to reach this mark, it might be helpful to include some sort of protein supplement so you can eat more protein, increase your lean muscle mass, and burn more calories at rest, because that additional muscle mass will take energy to maintain. And this all makes sense, right? This is why a 300-pound strongman eats a lot more protein than the average person, and a lot more food in general, because they're carrying a lot more muscle. And it's not all about building new muscle as well. Eating more protein while you're trying to lose weight will help you maintain the muscle mass that you already do have. When you're in a calorie deficit, which we're going to talk about in a moment, your body doesn't want to just drop fat, it also is going to drop muscle. That's just the way it is. And by now you're probably getting the sense that that's the complete opposite thing that we want. But you can avoid this by eating a higher protein diet, because your body is going to sense the new protein coming in and burn some of that off for energy instead of your hard-earned muscle. Lastly, protein is incredibly satiating, which is going to keep you full. One of the most common complaints of people losing weight is that they're constantly hungry and they have a lot of cravings. The way around this is eating more protein, because it's going to help you stay fuller for longer, helping you stick to your diet and stay in a calorie deficit, which we're going to talk about now. The one thing that you need to be doing for successful weight loss, which is number 3, a calorie deficit. Eating less calories than you burn each day is a simple concept to understand, but it can be very difficult to execute on. Luckily, you'll already be on the right track if you're trying to eat more protein, but in order to make sure that you're in a calorie deficit and getting enough protein, there's a couple of steps you should take. First, you need to keep track of the foods and therefore the calories that you're eating. The best way to do this is logging your food intake in a nutrition tracking app like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer. This way you'll be able to know if you're really in a calorie deficit and what specific foods are helping or hurting your progress. To stay in a calorie deficit, it's advisable and very helpful to eat foods that are high in food density, meaning they have a high weight and low in calories, like fruits and vegetables and lean protein. So you can eat a larger amount of total food while staying in a calorie deficit. And that's the key to a sustainable weight loss diet. Finding foods that aren't packed with a lot of calories so you can eat enough total food to stay full. You can still eat a lot of food, but you need to be smart with the foods that you're choosing, focusing on higher protein and lower calorie foods that'll fill you up. Overall, increasing your metabolism is possible, but it's not going to happen by eating magic foods or detox teas or taking special metabolism boosting supplements. Results are going to come when you know how to make your body work with you, by increasing the amount of calories you're burning, by adding more lean muscle with the help of exercise and a quality diet. Now, as great as all those tips are, if you're really serious about losing weight or even starting a nutrition coaching business, the next thing I'll have you do, check out this video linked up right here. If you want more ideas on what to eat or what to suggest to lose weight, here are the best high protein foods you need to be eating. I'm going to show you them right here, so check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video.